agronomically ineffective fertilizer was a serious sabotage to government efforts at ensuring national food self-sufficiency. The National Disaster Management Agency provides funds amounting to $1 million to cushion the effects of last year's crop failure. Tens of thousands of Egypt's 10 million odd Coptic Christians flocked to St. Mark Cathedral for the funeral service of their patriarch, Pope Shenouda III, and coordinated bomb attacks and shootings in the oil-rich northern Iraqi capital of Kirkuk leave at least 40 people dead. These and other stories coming ahead this half hour. I am Ajami Sise. Welcome to the news. Congratulatory and felicitatory messages continue to flow in at the State House. One of the latest to congratulate President Jammeh on his election victory is the chairman of the Ilyasa Kambeng Kafur, Abdoulaye Jammeh, and his message states, on behalf of the Alcalo, Imam, Chief and the community of Ilyasa village, and on behalf of the members of the Ilyasa Kambeng Kafur residing in Banjul and Kombo, I extend our heartfelt congratulations to Your Excellency on the resounding landslide election victory in the presidential election. Your Excellency, the confidence the Gambian people repose in you is a clear manifestation of the excellent and remarkable achievements of your leadership during the past 17 years. We pray that the Almighty Allah continue to shower His blessings on you, your family, and the entire Gambian people. Please accept the assurances of our highest consideration and fraternal esteem. Wendover Kamara of Chairman Village, Central River Region, has also written to the head of state, and his message states, I hereby reaffirm my loyalty to you, your family, government, and the APRC party. I applied to the party seeking nomination to contest the Nyanija constituency National Assembly seat, but I was not fortunate enough to be selected. And I wish to thank Your Excellency and the Constituency Selection Committee for the way the process was conducted. My family, friends, and loved ones have joined me in accepting Absa Jallow as our candidate in the March 29th National Assembly elections. We give her and the party 100 support during the campaign. Kindly allow me to seize the opportunity to congratulate you on your landslide victory in the November 24th presidential election. Please accept, Your Excellency, the assurances of my highest consideration. The text ends. The President has vowed to implement to the letter the recommendations of the Commission set up to probe issues revolving around the procurement and distribution of fertilizer. His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh was speaking at the State House on Monday after receiving a 3-volume report of the 6-strong commission which accuses 9 individuals at the Ministry of Agriculture of involvement in a scam revolving around the procurement and distribution of fertilizer between the year 2009 and 2011 farming season. The report also accuses 3 others of culpable conduct, while noting that the supply of agronomically ineffective fertilizer was a serious sabotage to government's drive towards food self-sufficiency. Abdunjai has details of that story.
It has made an extensive coverage of the issues surrounding the crop practices and other irregularities in the procurement and distribution of fertilizer to the farming community between the period 2009-2011. Its revelations are indeed shocking, and at the heart of the scam are 9 officials of the Ministry of Agriculture, but the Commission also found 3 others for culpable conduct in the discharge of their duties. Justice Emmanuel Kia, who led the 4-month investigation, said the scope of the problem confirms the corruption this government has dedicatedly fought against is once again rearing its ugly head.
The Commission, however, found serious irregularities relating to the award of the procurement and distribution contracts for the 2009 fertilizer. The Commission also noticed serious irregularities in the payment process of the contracts signed by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture. The procurement process was not participatory, competitive, or transparent, and government and the Gambian people did not obtain any value for the money. The Commission established that the procurement of the 2009 fertilizer from Indonesia was financed with funds from the KR account with the Central Bank of the Gambia. It was also discovered that all the laid down regulations for the access to the KR account, including executive directives for bridge financing were flouted.
The lack of transparency and compliance in the awarding of the procurement and distribution contracts for the 2009 fertilizer in particular, and the subsequent irregularities in the payment processes, according to the report, has strained relations with the donor.
It was also found that neither the quality nor quantity of the 2009 fertilizer corresponded with the contract specifications. No serious efforts were made to ensure compliance with quality and quantity before distribution. Over 70% of the fertilizer supplied did not correspond to the required label and turned out to be agronomically ineffective. In an attempt to convince the farmers to buy and use this ineffective fertilizer, the Deputy Director General of the National Agricultural Institute issued a false report stating that the insignificant impact of the fertilizer on the crops was due to the fact that the fertilizer was put on sale when the crops were already in their vegetative and reproductive phases, that in the Central River region a different fertilizer, NPK 082424, was used without supplementary urea application, that the label on the sacks 1515 prompted beliefs that the fertilizer does not contain potassium, and psychological inferences. This purported report was issued without the knowledge or consent of the Director General of NARI.
These efforts have done unimaginable damage to production within the period under investigation and have equally thwarted efforts towards food self-sufficiency.
It is sad in that the farmers are left to bear the brunt of these malpractices, because as the chairman said, farmers have to come up with hard-earned income to purchase fertilizer. And the reason they purchase fertilizer is to increase their productivity and their production 5-fold to 10-fold. But if purchasing fertilizer these days, a bag of fertilizer is nearly equivalent to the price of a bag of rice. So where's the incentive to buy fertilizer? And it's even more serious when that fertilizer is not meeting the needs it was supposed to be.
The recommendations of the 6-man commission include the setting up of strong institutional measures to handle such contracts, the frozen assets of the suspects be forfeited to the state, and legal actions be instituted against them, and more clearly called for open tender to be encouraged in the procurement of goods and services. The President, His Excellency Sir Professor Like Dr. Yajame, has described the findings as sad and shocking, having to come face to face with these realities after all that is being done to rid the country of such crimes, as for the government leader, is unbelievable.
It is very sad that anyone in his correct senses will think of robbing of farmers, and that is why we set up the commission to set an example. The reason why we set up, we could have asked the police to investigate, which we did. In the first place, this will put a definitive end to a malpractice at the Minister of Agriculture. It has always been a practice that those who are ministers of agriculture appointed in order for them to handle the portfolio, together with the technicians as well, would wait until last minute and come banging at the door. The rains are coming, the farmers have no fertilizer. This is done on purpose, because already they have, when you ask them what to do, they have an idea as to where they can get the fertilizer quickly. Many a genuine step has been thwarted and sabotaged by the Minister of Agriculture. There was an offer we had from Ukraine that was going to be cheaper, better quality, and a long-term solution to our problems. This was even $10 below the world market price, but this was the manufacturer who said if we sign an agreement for them to be our sole supplier for 5 years, they are going to, even every year they will go lower than the world market price. The then Minister of Agriculture, for some strange reason, when it was, I went to negotiate, I went to Ukraine. And when we came back, this offer was made. And it was passed to the Minister of Agriculture. Just to show you why I'm always hesitant to hand over the Minister of Agriculture to anybody else because I've been stopped so many times. But this Commission's report will put an end. I'm going to set an example.